Hi, I'm Rob Wilson, President of Employco USA, and with me is Jason Eisenhunt, our Vice President of HR,
Hi, everyone.
for our weekly HR chat. This week's topic is remote interviewing for on the employer side. As Jason, you've been active with a number of clients that are strategically hiring for some pretty specific positions, and most of the interviews these days are remote.
Yeah, it's interesting. So it's a nice way. I think in-person interviews are still preferred. You get a little bit of the nuances of body language and some other facets, but the kind of the state of affairs that we're in right now, virtual interviews are a nice feature to at least a possible option to have. Some of the clients that I've been helping with, it's been easier to schedule them. So maybe someone's on a break at work or before or after hours, and they don't have to take a full day off of work. So it definitely helps to schedule. It gives you more flexibility. But there are some key parts to watch out for kind of preparing for it that we've already seen some negative consequences of not being prepared, at least on the candidate side, but we're here to talk about the employer side.
As you see, we all live on Zoom these days. You and I have been both out in clients' offices and locations, but not as much as we used to. So many people still want to do via Zoom. So outside of the obvious one, Jason, of make sure you have a good internet connection, make sure you have a working camera. What are some tips that you'd give to the employers?
So start by getting the platform in mind. So whether it's Zoom or GoToMeeting. So for example, Zoom right now has still their free basic version. You get the kind of the most of the functionality that you'd like, but the kind of the key here is there's a 40-minute maximum. So if your interview might go more than 40 minutes, either get a paid version subscription to Zoom or check out one of the other ones. GoToMeeting that we use here at work for some of our interviews and our clients use. They don't have a free version, but they have a free trial. So free 30-day trial, you can give it a try. Either Zoom or GoToMeeting or a different one. I recommend that you, not only the HR person, but anyone that's going to be involved in the interview, maybe it's a hiring manager, a second person involved, everyone should get the software downloaded on their computer, their phone, their tablet. Try it out ahead of time. Make sure your camera's in focus. What do the other people think of the lighting and your audio quality? Go through a full kind of mock video interview before the candidate even gets on, because the worst thing is if you come off as a bad impression, first impression with that candidate.
Right. Yeah, and so typically you're going to have a couple of you on the interview, yourself or your HR person or operations person, and the odds are not going to be in the same room, so you're going to be using a split screen. So things like make sure your desk is clean and make sure what you're wearing is presentable. So many people are used to working at home. It's a job interview.
Yeah, and that's a good piece. So even as the HR hiring manager, speaking of what you're wearing, we recommend that you kind of let the candidate know in advance it's going to be a virtual interview, test out the functionality on your side before the interview. So send the candidate some helpful tips in advance. One of those helpful tips is to let them know or to suggest dress for the virtual interview just as though you would dress for an in-person interview. Kind of a helpful tip. Sometimes people are a little bit too casual on the virtual interviews as a candidate, compared to what they would have dressed as on a virtual or an in-person interview.
Right, you really have to treat your virtual interview as if you're there in person, and you're right. It is a little bit harder to pick up body language and that on video, but this is your shot. You want to make sure you're making as good of an impression on them as they should be on you, and online you want to make sure you get a good fit.
And if for some reason you can't conduct any in-person interviews and it will be all virtual, and that based on the virtual interviews, the job offer will be extended. At that point, if you can, take a quick video of a tour of your office, your building, your warehouse. Let the candidate see a little bit what the environment's going to look like that they'll be entering into. It'll give them a little bit more ease in terms of accepting the job offer or kind of digging into some more questions. So if you can, just walk through your facility with a camera and take a quick video. And the nicer, the better, because that is kind of another first impression the candidate will get of your organization.
Sure, as well as during the course of your interview, you want to talk a little bit about your culture and what it means to work at your organization. Culture is so important and something that we really work hard at, and it's harder even working at it remotely. But you want to really showcase your business.
Yeah, and if you have any questions on some of these tips on how to do the video of your office, HR@employco.com. We're here to help. Let us know any questions that you have. We have some kind of helpful tips already prepared in a document that's ready to go.
Yeah, thanks for joining us on our HR chat, and we're releasing another podcast in the next couple of days, and so we try and do our chats once a week. So thanks for joining us.
Thank you.